All right. Oh, just doing a little audio check. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. This mic attachment just broke on me. My mic sticks on this. So yeah, I'm gonna have to order one of those. So I'm gonna have to hold the mic for this stream. So if you hear a little shuffling and moving around, that's why. I literally was just making an adjustment and bloop, comes off like nothing. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this story. And by the way, more here. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the 5. This messed up story, like all of them, regarding this mother, Virginia Gonzales. Virginia Gonzales from Texas. I believe she is 33. I saw somewhere I think she's 33 years old and has 8 children, 8 kids. And she's facing charges because one of her daughters, I believe it was a daughter, found severely malnourished and confined to a closet, supposedly barricaded for over a month. The 7-year-old daughter was discovered on April 3rd, weighing only 29 pounds, suffering from severe malnutrition. And so they find this girl in a horrible condition. Supposedly she was being fed corn dogs in this closet. And that's when they're like, wait a minute. One of her kids is missing, Ava Marie Gonzales. She would be 9 years old right now. This is a picture. Let me show you a picture. This is an old picture from back then. And one of the articles, let me switch it up. One of the articles has like a age progressed photo. And it's turned into a whole bunch of drama. Because now there's family talking. Because those kids weren't even registered to school. I don't know how you could do that. Because these people are up my asses. If my kid misses a day of school, I guess because she's in the system, the school system. They text you, they email you, they call you. Shit, if you miss a couple days, they start calling you and stuff. How do all these kids end up not enrolled in school? Here's a picture here. So this is like a age progressed photo. Ava Marie Gonzales, 2017. And this is the age progressed. She would be 9 now. So the 6 other children are between the ages of 2 and 14. They were found in the home during the investigation. They appeared physically healthy. That makes me wonder, too, if all the other kids are okay or in decent condition, why is these 2 kids, one barricaded in a closet, being fed corn dogs, God knows what's happening to this girl, and the other one missing for over 7 years. Last seen when she was 2 years old, never reported missing. How in the world does that happen? How? The other children, while appearing physically healthy, were not enrolled in school, indicating potential long-term neglect. So even though they physically appear okay, those other kids were not enrolled in school. And that begs the question, too, what about family, friends? Nobody questioned this. Nobody asked. What about fathers? What's up with the dads, right? There's some drama we're going to talk about. It says fathers. Authorities have not identified the father of their children. Virginia Gonzales has provided conflicting information regarding Ava's whereabouts. And so this lady lives in Del Valle, Texas. I believe it's called Del Valle, Texas. Let's start off with the press conference.
I'm Detective Russell, Russell, Constable, Constable, with the Austin Police Department's Child Abuse Unit. Today we're asking for the community for help. The Austin Police Department is asking the community for help to find Ava Marie Gonzales, a missing 9-year-old girl. Ava is a Hispanic little girl with straight brown hair and brown eyes. Ava has not been seen in over 6 years, so her height and weight are currently unknown. On April 3rd, 2025, Austin Police Department responded to a 911 call for a 7-year-old child that was found locked in a closet and starving. The 7-year-old was immediately taken to a local hospital for medical treatment and is currently recovering.
It was he said a call for welfare check, right?
Locked in a closet and starving. One call. On April 3rd, 2025, Austin Police Department responded to a 911 call for a 7-year-old child that was found locked in a closet and starving. The 7-year-old was immediately taken to a local hospital for medical treatment and is currently recovering. There were 6 other children found in the home that appeared physically healthy. During the investigation, police discovered that there was an 8th child who was not found inside the home. The missing 9-year-old child was identified as Ava Marie Gonzales. Missing persons detectives determined that Ava was last seen in December 2017 when she was 2 years old and in the custody of her mother, Virginia Marie Gonzales. Virginia Gonzales was arrested on April 24th, 2025 for injury to a child, serious bodily injury, for the injuries sustained by her 7-year-old child. Austin Police Department's missing person detectives are seriously concerned about Ava's welfare, given the circumstances in which Ava's 7-year-old sibling was found. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has developed an age-progressed photo of Ava to help anyone provide information regarding Ava's whereabouts. This has been an emotionally difficult case for multiple agencies that were involved. The Austin Police Department, Child Protective Services, medical staff, interviewers, counselors, families, and community members. The Austin Police Department, along with all of the listed agencies involved, are asking the community to provide any information that can help us locate Ava or information surrounding Ava's disappearance. Please email any relevant information regarding Ava to Ava, A-V-A, at austintexas.gov, or make an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers at 512-572-8477. If you have any information, please come forward. We are not trying to get anyone in trouble. We're trying to ensure everyone's safety. Are there any questions?
Did the other siblings, when y'all arrested Gonzales, have a comment on the Ava, like when the last time they saw her was?
So the last known contact we have would be in 2017.
That's what the siblings said.
I can't get into specifics about what they said.
When was Ava officially reported missing, and was she reported missing 7 years ago?
Never.
She was
That's
not reported
crazy.
missing ever by Virginia.
That's something's wrong right there. That's sus as hell. And we're gonna get into a video. I'm just letting this set the foundation because there's a video I found on Facebook where this woman, it says a close source to the missing child speaks out with factual details and gives this a story to her best knowledge. So there's a lady that speaks out too that knows these people, and there's also rumors. I saw somewhere somebody had said allegations of her selling the child. I don't know, because it reminds me of that other story in Texas that we covered where that woman was alleged to have sold her child and the Indian family. She was Spanish, but there was like an Indian family. They fled to India. And it's presumed that that boy is dead. The other Texas story.
Or anybody.
So last seen 7 years ago, 7-ish years ago, what makes you think she's still alive, or where we are today?
So we have information, showing that she was born to Virginia. We just don't know where she is right now, and that's what we're trying to figure out: is her current status, where she is, who she's with, and if she's safe and healthy.
Has anyone seen her in that 7 years since last seen by anyone in the home and now?
That's what we're hoping for today with this press conference, is to help, to ask for help from any community members that have seen her or know where she currently is.
Do we know anything about Ava's father?
We have not positively identified.
What's
It's weird. Wow.
Virginia's history with CPS? Like, how many calls have they taken maybe about her in the past years, and was she ever investigated for anything with CPS before?
I can't comment on CPS's investigation. I would refer you to their PIO office, which is Marissa Gonzales at 817-312-4144.
She hasn't had any other police activity prior to this?
So I can't comment on her previous criminal history.
Were other family members concerned that they hadn't seen Ava for this long?
So she has provided conflicting information to many different family members. So we're hoping to get some more information and try to figure out where she is.
Has the suspect mentioned her missing child at all, or how did you come to find out that there was a missing 8th child?
She has provided us some information that we're trying to corroborate.
Do we have any other questions?
Are we talking about, I mean, do we think she might be going to school possibly? I mean, are we talking about in the Austin area? Where might people have seen this little girl?
Certainly, the Central Texas region, but she could be anywhere at this point.
Was she ever enrolled in school?
We have not found any school information regarding any of the children,
So none of them were enrolled in school, or
Not-
at least as far as you know.
as far as we know.
So there seems to have been a huge disparity in how the children were treated. I mean, the one and the others, can you describe, I mean, were they just seemingly healthy and fed and normal, or what?
Yes, the other 6 children did appear to be fine.
We'll take one more question. If there are any. Good. Okay, thank you so much, y'all.
Thank you.
We're going to reset and do it in Spanish if anyone would like to say.
Okay.
If not, you're welcome. Just let me know.
So we're going to keep on with this. So this is the video. Hopefully, because I listened to a few seconds before the stream and I was kind of confused. So hopefully we got a little foundation. This will make a little sense. But this is a close source to the missing child case. Let's listen and see. It says a former friend of the you guys said Del Valle. That's how you pronounce it. Del Valle mother with missing child. Let's see.
So let's go back to 2017 from the very beginning where it originally started. So in 2017, when Ava was 2 years old, Gina got with one of her baby daddies.
Okay. So what she's saying, Gina, she's talking about Virginia. So the mother of the kids. So let me just start that again.
So let's go back to 2017 from the very beginning where it originally started. So in 2017, when Ava was 2 years old, Gina got with one of her baby daddies, with the one that has 3 children. And when they got together, the only reason how his family even knew of Ava was because there was a CPS case documentations that was sent to her house with the little girl's name on there. So a lot of people that were attacking the sister of one of the baby daddies, like she and her family are they had no idea about anything. They never seen Ava. They never spoke to Ava. They never got to lay eyes on Ava. When they asked Gina about who Ava was, Gina told them that Ava was her sister's kid that she was taking care of, and that the little girl was with Gina's mom. So to clarify that they knew Ava this whole time, how's the kid been missing for 7 years? Nobody knew the kid was missing. Nobody knew nothing. Gina lied to them and told them that Ava was with her mom, and lied to her mom and told her mom that Ava was with this grandma. But I know a lot of people are like, well, why didn't the biological grandma ask, why, where's my grandchild? I want to see I don't know if y'all know Gina and her family, but I'm just going to be straight real. They all live in the bars and the clubs, from Gina to the mama, to the sister, to the brother.
So they all, because that's what the question a lot of people were asking, where's I guess everybody obviously has different family structures, but me, if I don't answer the phone, my mother starts she'll show up to the house. How's Maddie? When you're gonna bring her by, or let me come by and bring some food, or let me do her hair, or help out with this and with that. No way in hell, could go missing for that long. So she's giving the base of the story. She's saying back then in 2017, I'm a little. She said they had gotten some papers to the house. We might have to rewind it back. What I got from that, she's trying to give the story back from 2017, and she's explaining why, because people are criticizing. Well, why hasn't the grandmother asked? Why hasn't the family asked? Where is this girl that's been missing for 7 years? How has nobody asked? She hasn't been reported in 7 years. Nobody's seen her in 7 years. And now, because there was a 911 call and the police went to the house, they found another sibling, a different sibling there, in the closet, locked for a month, being malnourished, being fed corn dogs. That's when police realized, oh, there's a missing child. That's the only reason we're here talking about it today, because if not, who knows how long this would have gone. I'll rewind it back one more time.
So let's go back to 2017 from the very beginning where it originally started. So in 2017, when Ava was 2 years old, Gina got with one of her baby daddies, with the one that has 3 children. And when they got together, the only reason how his family even knew of Ava was because there was a CPS case documentations that was sent to her house with the little girl's name on there. So a lot of people that were attacking the sister of one of the baby daddies, like she and her family are they had no idea about anything. They never seen Ava. They never spoke to Ava. They never got to lay eyes on Ava. When they asked Gina about who Ava was, Gina told them that Ava was her sister's kid that she was taking care of.
Gina told them that Ava was the sister's kid, that she was just taking care of this girl. Okay.
And that the little girl was with Gina's mom. So to clarify that they knew Ava this whole time, how's the kid been missing for 7 years? Nobody knew the kid was missing. Nobody knew nothing. Gina lied to them and told them that Ava was with her mom, and lied to her mom and told her mom that Ava was with this grandma. But I know a lot of people are like, well, why didn't the biological grandma ask, why, where's my grandchild? I want to see I don't know if y'all know Gina and her family, but I'm just going to be straight real. They all live in the bars and the clubs. From Gina to the mama to the sister to the brother, they're not a typical type of family that's going to be like, oh, let me check on my niece. Oh, let me see my grandchild. Oh, they were not that type of people. They were not going to sit there and they don't give a fuck about the kids. I don't know if y'all know about the bitches in Austin either, but these bitches do not care about their kids. They be in the clubs 24/7 and leave their kids at home. And Gina was
Wow.
just one of those. So to clarify that the girl everybody's attacking on her social media for kind of trying to clarify her side of the story, they had no idea about Ava. They never got to meet Ava. They never seen Ava. They only knew of Ava because of her name being on a documentation. So they asked her about Ava, but never thought to even hey, where's she at? Because Gina told them it was her sister's kid. So that clarifies that. So everybody can quit bashing that girl because she has no idea about nothing. Now to the next thing about my friendship with Gina. So the last time I seen Gina and hung out with Gina was on my birthday at my boat party in September of 2024. So it's been fucking 8 months since I've seen Gina.
So why don't you ask about the baby too?
Because I said she's my dog doesn't mean I chill with her on a daily basis. She's not the type of bitch that I talk to every day. She's not the type of bitch that I go and pull up on her kids. I mean, I've seen so many comments well, why didn't you see the red flags? I never seen none of her kids. I only seen one kid. And everybody that was hanging out with Gina and that knows Gina this past year or two, that when she popped out of nowhere popping bottles and making it rain downtown, she only had her oldest kid. That was it. All her other kids were living with her baby daddy in San Antonio at his house, and his mom and his sister were the ones that were helping him take care of them kids because she lied and she told him she was fighting for her life and had cancer and leukemia. So this whole time, this family was sitting here thinking she's in the hospital, fighting for her life, in and out of the hospital, having cancer. She told them they gave her 3 years to live. She told them that her brother was dead, which he's not. They just obviously got in contact with him recently. But they had no idea. She literally lied to everybody. She had me thinking all the kids lived with the grandma. So 6 kids were living with the dad / stepdad. Wow. But only 3 of those kids out of the 6 were his. The other 3, I know for a fact that they've contacted multiple people in regards to who the father is, but honestly, there's a lot. It's 6 or 7 baby daddies. So I mean, at the end of the day, people bashing and pointing the finger at friends and family and this and that, that's unnecessary, bro. And that's exactly why I'm making this video, because I'm just tired of people sitting here trying to attack the outsiders. She is a grown woman. She had them kids. She's in charge of those kids, not us. But to clarify my name, I haven't seen her or talked to her since February of this year. And in February, the last time I talked to her, she asked me to borrow money and I gave her money, and that was it. Here and there, she would ask me to borrow money and I would send her money. But other than that, I didn't chill with this bitch on a daily basis. She was one of those friends you don't see in a long time, and then she pops up out of nowhere, and then it's time never lost. We reunited, and it's bitch, what's up? We rekindled exactly where we left off. She wasn't the type of friend that was here on a daily basis. That was she wasn't the type of friend that was a check in every day. She would come and go. These past 2 years that she's been out in the clubs popping bottles, claiming cartel, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I'm assuming that. I don't know this person. By the way, if you want to check this person out, I'm going to put their link in the description. Channel Cinco TV. I'm assuming they fast forwarded this video, I guess, because I didn't fast forward this. It's normal speed. But what's going on is that a lot of people are digging into the family, the relationships, the friendships, especially on Facebook. I guess on Facebook it goes down. They start accusing people. There's Facebook groups. All these people start looking into everybody's life and asking questions, and so everybody's catching it now. I just heard about the story today, but it's been being talked about for the last couple of days. And it's wild to me to see that nobody checked on this kid all these years. But this lady's telling you like the story of like, these people are partying, popping bottles. That's what the family does in the club, leaving the kids home alone. Nobody really looking after them. Nobody gives a shit about the kids and all this stuff. And that's the lifestyle out there. Oh, you're still behind, T-Cross? Who keeps sniffing? That wasn't me. That was the dude in the presser. Somebody said he had a coke sniff. Hey, thank you so much for the 10. So this is a completely messed up, weird story. Why have all these kids? Why have all these kids just to neglect them? It makes no sense to me. And you have one kid in the closet. I don't know. Did she hate the father of the kid? Was that like payback or something? Did the kid resemble the father or something? So she was torturing the kid as payback, or I don't know. Sick. And you know who this made me think about? It made me think about Virginia. And yesterday when I was streaming, I had asked people like, yo, you guys remember Virginia? But I think we have a lot of new people, so some people might not know. So this is Virginia. I'm going to play the clip. I call her a legend. I posted this 3 years ago. I found her on Facebook. She was snapping at these mothers. She was snapping. Let me play this video. It's 2 minutes.
Facebook. Y'all know that woman knew that nigga had killed her little niece or nephew, whatever it was. Y'all hoes better stop letting these niggas in y'all house whooping on y'all kids, cause they gonna kill them. Now, that woman knew this. Now, this baby just been put in her custody, out of CPS custody. Probably better off with CPS. Maybe the baby will still be living right down to date. But you hoes need to stop this. You hoes know who I'm talking about. Y'all letting different folks all in your house, sleeping all in your house. Man, keep these people away from y'all children. If you don't want them, give them some goddamn body.
Yeah.
Bring them to me. Goddamn it, I do something with them. Hell, we'll make some patties over here or something. Yeah, you young hoes, that's all y'all want to do is smoke weed and fuck. That's all you want to do. You don't even want to take care of your own motherfucking kids. But you got different niggas all over your kids. Niggas don't like your kids. They ain't with their own motherfucking kids. But they over here at your house telling your kids what to do. You whole better shape up or y'all ain't gonna ship out. Y'all watch what I tell you. This shit was on Facebook the other day. Somebody said, it was Annie. My niece Annie. Annie said, y'all stop these niggas from coming in y'all houses over y'all children. Y'all know who y'all is. Y'all keep your own goddamn kids. Hell, that man killed that baby, throw that baby out there in that goddamn landfill. Keep your own goddamn kids. Hell, stop having them. That's what you do. That's what you whole need to do. Stick something up in your ass and stop having kids so much. Then you don't have to be worried about CPS taking them. Yeah. You hear me, don't you saying?
You hear me, don't you saying?
Shit, fuck that. I'm every week there's some shit going on about these kids. I don't worry about this other shit. I'm talking about these children. Little innocent children. These niggas that he probably molested the baby.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what's gonna come out. These niggas molesting these children. They don't want y'all star ass because y'all ass wore out. Yeah, you whole wore out. You done had 3 or 4, 5, 6 children, your asses wore out. So the niggas fuck y'all children.
Bro.
Then they kill your children. Then y'all want to play like y'all don't know what done happened. You hoes know what these niggas doing to y'all kids, but let me find out. I'm gonna call the police on all you bitches.
It's funny, but it's so true, man. It really is so true. And I thought about Virginia with this thing. It's just crazy, man, how some of these people just leave their kids like that. And so many stories almost have the same, somewhat similar storyline. I forgot what story she was talking about. And so this lady's here kind of telling us the whole thing of like these people just are out partying, messing around, leave the kids home alone. Nobody cares. Nobody asks. How's a kid? You know, normal shit, you know, that you have with friends or family. How's the kids doing? How's it? And sometimes you hear the kids in the background and stuff, you know?
She would come and go. She would come for 6-7 months and pop out and be out in the club every day. And then she'll go ghost for 2 or 3 months. So, I mean, at the end of the day, she literally had none of the kids with her in her possession in this past whole year. the only one she had was the oldest little boy. And when I went to her apartment the day of my boat party to go pick her up, he was the only one that was in the living room playing his game. And I mean, the apartment was so nice. Like, it was completely nice. Like, I didn't see no foul play, but at the same time, she didn't have the kids in her possession at that time. So let's go back to fast forward 7 years later. Here we are in November. This whole year, this past year, this family of the 3 kids, they were reaching out to her to come and get her kids. They were reaching out to come for holidays. They were reaching out, and she was not answering. She was saying she was fighting leukemia in the hospital. So they didn't know. You know, they're Mexican. They speak Spanish. They're not like we are. They're not normal people to sit here and just be all up in the mix. They knew something was off about her, but they didn't know what. They couldn't like pinpoint it. And then it didn't help that, you know, the brother was defending her over his family. So like, I don't know if she had something on him, or like if she had him brainwashed or bruja or what. I don't know what the fuck she had on him, but he was going against his family for her, defending her, saying she's dying, crying, grieving, thinking he's about to lose his wife or baby mama. Excuse me. But to clarify that, this family that y'all are attacking had no idea. The only thing they knew was that there was Ava existed, but that Ava was the sister's daughter because of what Gina told them. And then as far as long as my friendship with her, like I said, I haven't talked to her since February when she asked me to borrow money. And then since then, I thought she was just at home being a mom because she got her kids back in December. So let's go backtrack to December of this 2024. December in 2024, the kids were all living with the grandma because the baby daddy got locked up. When the baby daddy got told Lewis to tell his mom, told the baby daddy to tell his mom, like, hey, can Gina come and stay there for a while? And the mom was like, yeah, you know, obviously I got her kids. So she went and stayed for like a week at the house, and then she randomly up and left and disappeared. And the grandma had not seen the kids up until that point where she found the kids. So the kids weren't under nobody's supervision. And then as far as long as the kids that are related to this family, those 3 little kids, they're not old enough to be in school. So that's another thing. Everybody's like, well, what happened to the school? Why didn't they weren't in school? The little boys, I literally seen these kids a week ago. The little boy's 3 years old. The other little boy's 4 years old. The other little boy's like 5 or 6 years old. They're little kids. It's not like they've been missing school. The only ones that been missing school were Gina's kids that didn't have the fathers in their lives. So all of that falls back on Gina. That has nothing to do with this family that was trying to be there for her and her kids. Now, to clarify the fact that, what else was I seeing? How did not nobody know? The school situation. What the fuck else? There's so many questions and concerns. So, okay, December, when December came and Gina came and randomly took the kids after that week of staying there at the grandmother's, she took the kids and she caught ghosts on this particular baby daddy and his family. So the grandma was concerned this whole time, like, where are the kids, trying to reach out to her, trying to see the kids. So Gina was ignoring them. Like, Gina was literally completely ignoring this grandmother and the sister-in-law that had been taking care of these kids and helping the baby daddy. So here comes, let's go back to about a month and a half ago. Gina gets arrested for a possession of marijuana charge, okay? It was a minor charge. When she gets arrested, she's trying to get out of jail. She was only in jail for 1 day. So when she got arrested, she called the baby daddy, and the baby daddy was called the grandmother that found Riri and was like, hey, can you go get Gina out? So this is what led the grandmother to find Riri and all the kids. So Gina went to jail the night before. The baby daddy calls the grandma and like, hey, can you please go get can you please go get Gina out of jail? And the grandma was like, hell no. Like, she had, mind you, the grandma is upset because Gina has already taken almost $200K from their family. Here these people are illegal trying to get their citizenship and giving money to Gina thinking that they're paying an attorney to get their citizenships and the baby daddy on his case, and she was just pocketing that money. So all that money that they gave her to get their citizenships, to fight for the son's case, it was going downtown on 6th Street at the Lodge. It was going, making it rain at Bear. Like, I mean, she scammed these people. You know what I mean? And they're hurt. And people are attacking them and being mean and harsh and rude. And it's just like, there's just no need for that. That's what's wrong with the world today, though, is that everybody just wants to attack. And it's like, bro, if you don't know the facts, just shut the fuck up until you know the facts. Period, point blank. Y'all are sitting here attacking this poor girl and her mom, and they were the only ones that were trying to figure out what the hell's really going on. So anyways, back to when she went to jail, the grandma, as soon as the son calls and tells her that she's in jail, the grandma's like, well, where are the kids? And he's like, I don't know, Mom. I have to find them. So he was like, let me make some phone calls and see if I can find the kids and find where she lives. Because mind you, they had no idea where she was at, where she was living, who she was with. They had no idea about nothing. They were completely clueless. So finally, the baby daddy finds the address of where she lived in the apartment on Ross in Del Valle. And that's when the grandma pulls up to the apartment complex, had to wait to get the code to get into the gate. They still weren't sure about the actual apartment number, but she just knew where it was at. So she went all the way to around the buildings to where she knew that it was one of those apartments, and she was just guessing and knocking at the doors. Well, the one particular apartment, if y'all know where she lived, it was the corner apartment right as soon as you walk up to the apartment complex. So she didn't know that though, but she knocked at the door and nobody answered. Well, then there was a patio. They only knew it was like one of those front apartments. It was either going to be on the left or the right. Well, hers was on the right. So the grandma goes and gets brave and gets on the patio, opens the patio, gets on the patio and goes and knocks on the patio door. When she knocks on the patio door, her grandson opens the curtains and she's like, mijo, open the door, it's grandma. And so when she tells him to open the door, he opens the door for her. When he opens the door, she walks in and she like she said, she didn't think anything. She was just going to go pick up the kids and take them with her and put them back under her care, in her possession. So so she said that she walked through the apartment. The first room, which is, if you've been to her apartment, it was on the right. She But anyways, to everybody that's defending me, y'all, it's like talking to a brick wall right now. People are just gonna attack, and I don't have time for it. That's why I make this video, so I could literally just explain everything. Anyways, when the grandma walks into the apartment, she goes to walk through the apartment. If you've been in Gina's apartment, then you know that her room was the very back room. She said she passed by, she seen a bedroom, she cracked the door open, and she said there was a bad odor. But so she didn't go in there because nobody was in there, and the room was almost like, it was like just nothing but boxes. So she didn't think anything. So she said when she seen all the kids in the back, she walked to the back, she woke all of them up, and she was like, hey, come on, get your stuff, let's go. She was like, we're leaving. And they were like, Grandma, you're here, whatever. But anyways, long story short, basically, she found the kids in the back room. When she made all of them get up, mind you, this is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. She asked the little boy, what are y'all doing to sleep? He was like, oh, we took melatonin. My mom went out last night. She hasn't been home. We don't know what to do. So she's like, well, come on, let's go. I'm going to take her to go eat. So she's gathering all the kids, and she's going into the front door, and she asked the little boy, where's Riri? And the little boy was like, she's in the closet, Grandma. And then Grandma was like, what do you mean she's in the closet? And he's like, she's in the closet. She's like, well, go get her. She said at that point, she didn't think anything. She just thought that, she was laying in the closet. So that he kind of avoided the question, and they kept walking to the front. And then basically, again, she asked him, she's like, go get Riri, we gotta go. And so he leads her to that room with the odor. And when she goes in there, and she said that right away she seen he started moving the boxes out the front door. And when he started moving the boxes out the front door, that's when she seen the phone cord wire around the doors, because the doors in the closet were two where you can open them like this. So I guess the wires were to keep it shut. And then that's when she found the little girl in the closet, and one of Gina's pants, urine on herself. So she just starts crying, panicking, called the cops, and then from that moment, the cops show up, and CPS took all the kids. So they haven't had the kids, but they give visitation with the kids, but they haven't had the kids in their possession this past month and a half since Gina went to jail. So that clarifies that. No, they didn't take melatonin that night. They said they had taken melatonin at fucking 2, 3. They had to live on melatonin, from what the little boy is telling the grandma. I don't know the facts. I don't know the actual complete details, and I'm not really supposed to be saying a lot that I am already saying. But she said that the little boy just clarified that they had been on melatonin all night. So I don't know why they were asleep at 5 o'clock. They probably stayed up all night and barely went to bed. I don't know. But yes, the siblings knew that the little girl was in the closet because she peed on herself and couldn't control her poop and peeing, and was allowed to eat 1 corn dog and a little bit of water a day. The little boy said that he would try to feed her. They would all get in trouble. They could not help get her out. They could not help feed her. So, I mean, they were scared of Gina, y'all. And if y'all know Gina, Gina was very aggressive, very, very direct, very harsh and cruel to these kids. She'll cuss a nigga out, bitch out, whoever. She'll cuss anybody out. She don't care. So, the little kids were scared of her. I mean, you got to understand, they've been dealing with her their whole life. So they had no idea what to do but to listen to their mom. Then once the kids got in the CPS possession, that's when they figured out that there was a newborn. That's when they figured out that Ava was missing. And that's whenever it's been under investigation for the past month. Now, Gina barely got arrested April 25th. So the story was not allowed to be told by anybody. Everybody keeps saying, how do you know about the story for 2 weeks and you didn't say nothing? The kids were already safe. Riri was already in the hospital getting saved. All the kids were already in CPS possession. So when y'all are attacking me saying why did you keep it a secret for 2 weeks? I had to keep it a secret for 2 weeks because the detectives didn't want me to blow the cover of the story. I have to listen to the detectives. I don't give a fuck what nobody says on social media. None of them people pay my bills, so I don't have to explain nothing to nobody. I'm just here to defend the family that y'all are attacking. I'm here to defend my name, and I'm here to defend not defend, but tell my friendship with her, because everybody's attacking me like I was her BFF. When I said she was my dog, I mean I fuck with her. She was my bitch. When I seen her, we chilled. If I didn't see her, then I didn't see her. But it wasn't the type of friendship where I would just go pull up on her and check on her, or the type of person. She don't even know where I live. Nobody knows where I live. I don't let nobody know where I live because of this. People are crazy. But just to clarify everything, I just want y'all to know this.
They could find you though. Be careful.
Family that y'all are attacking right now had no idea about nothing. The kid's been in CPS possession for about a month already. Gina barely got locked up on the 25th. That's whenever they found out that Ava's been missing. That's when they found out about the newborn being sold to the gay couple. And that's when they found out about...
Wait, the newborn being sold to the gay couple? We can't gloss over that shit. What?
Like, nobody knows where I live. I don't let nobody know where I live because of this. People are crazy. But just to clarify everything, like, I just want y'all to know this family that y'all are attacking right now had no idea about nothing. The kid's been in CPS possession for about a month already. Gina barely got locked up on the 25th. That's whenever they found out that Ava's been missing. That's when they found out about the newborn being sold to the gay couple. And that's when they found out about the little boy, the oldest little boy. That's when he's starting to talk. He barely starting to talk. I mean, he's scared, you know? But she lied for a long time. She made her whole family think that, you know, she had cancer. She made all of us think. She put it on her social media. So everybody was, you know, giving her support and love and thinking she was fighting for her life. But she wasn't. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that she just has a lot of screw loose. And I think that she lived in a lie and she lived a double life for a long time. And I think she thought she was a mastermind and got away and was going to be able to get away with it. But, I mean, what's done in the dark always comes to light, no matter how slick you think you are. You feel me? So I feel like everybody just needs to just calm down and let the detectives do their job. Because at the end of the day, when it's an investigation, it takes time. There's a process. They're out there looking for the baby. Ava, we all pray that she's still alive. But, I mean, if she sold one kid, she might have sold her. Or if she didn't sell her, she might have, you know, did what she did to Riri. We don't know. But I do know that the CPS case from back in 2017, which is why I don't know if y'all watched the news, but they said that CPS failed these kids, Ava especially, because there was a case of Ava starving. And if y'all look at the picture that everybody's sharing on social media, she was little, she was skinny, she was tiny, like she wasn't eating. But she was already under investigation back to 2017. So like, CPS, if there's anybody y'all want to attack and anybody y'all want to blame, it's the system. The system is completely corrupt and fucked up. And everybody knows that. I mean, like, you could be on a court order and get away with fucking murder, basically, and they don't care. You have to wait 90 days to get in the courtroom. Now, that's just to clarify everything with the fucking case. Because everybody's saying, oh, she's here for views. No. I'm not on here for no fucking views. I've been having a platform on Facebook. I've been having over 6K followers. I've been getting money from Facebook. I've had this Facebook since 2009. So
what started on
Facebook started auto-playing. Wow. Mamma mia. Hold on 1 second. Crazy. What a mess. So I don't think this is good at all, as far as like her being alive for 7 years. It's gonna be hard to go back and track. Found the newborn. She cheated the whole 2 years with another man, and she lied to him saying she miscarried, but she also lied to her friend saying she had a hernia. She is delusional. She also said she had a wedding with my brother which never happened. I believe if someone knows about Ava, they need to look more into Peyton Edwards. That's where Ava was last seen on her social media. Hey, I'm the Tia that got to save my niece life, Riri. That means aunt. The 7-year-old this all happened with when my brother got locked up in December. Gina came and picked up all the kids at the time. We only met 4, and my brother had 3 kids with her. She claimed she had cancer and had 3 years to live. First, she plans this out on taking our money by saying she had lawyers helping my parents get papers and help my brother fix his case. She played so good that she ran with $200K off of my family. She then lied saying her brother died. We found out he is alive after this happened. Damn. When she was away this last 2 years, my brother had all 6 kids with him, and she had the oldest with her, saying they were investigating him. But it was all a lie. We all know the truth about her, but while she was gone, she said she was in the hospital for oh Lord, not the Pope. Just lost the link. Oh man, how do I get back to that? Let me see if I can get this whole, because there was like a thread on this post. Is it this post? Oh, it's right here. Now it's working. Okay. Thing is a whole hot mess. You're dying and didn't want us to see her or to take the kids. I helped my brother take care of all my nephews, all 6 that were with us. She only had the oldest, and we always asked why hasn't any CPS got her oldest for not having any adult with him. He's under the age, so we already felt something was off, but we believed she was sick because she would claim we would have the kids' birthdays here at my mom's house and always had them well fed. I always had them learning things like math, reading and writing their name, since their mom wouldn't allow us to put them in school. We always begged her to let us, so I took time to have them learn things. While Gina was at the hospital dying, my brother's gets locked up in December, and she just pops up, stays a week, and then she left with all the kids without telling us or letting us know where. We did message her asking her the address to go see the kids. She didn't respond to us ever. Then get a call from my brother saying Gina is locked up. We was on a mission to find my nephews, called anyone who knew her that can tell us where the kids are. And my mom got to the apartment, and that's when she found the kids and found Riri in a closet. After that, we went down to CPS office, and that's where they told us there is 2 missing, which are Ava and the newborn. Holy shit. So is that where the newborn that supposedly was sold to a gay couple? We never met Ava. The past 7 years she was with my brother. We never met Ava. The past 7 years she was with my brother. She made her mom and my mom switch up on each other, like made up lies saying we didn't like her and wanted to beat them up, but really we never met the lady. And we got to her to ask about who is Ava. She was shocked because she thought Ava was with us the entire 7 years, but Gina would talk like she didn't like her mom, so she didn't contact her. But it makes sense now because she made my mom block her so she wouldn't reach out and ask about the kids because we don't have Ava. So it's basically the same story that the lady was just telling. This was here verbalized, in a text. When we started realizing she did something to Ava, and she did Riri like that because of what she did to Ava, Gina only knows where's Ava. The newborn, we found out she sold the baby because the boy told us she gave it to a gay couple. But glad they found the newborn. They found the newborn? The newborn, she cheated the whole 2 years with another man. She lied to him saying she had miscarried, but she also lied to her friend saying she had a hernia. She is delusional. She also said she had a wedding with my brother, which never happened. I believe if someone knows, look more into Peyton Edwards. Wow. What a mess. Law and Crime did an episode 2. We'll watch some of it. We don't need to watch the whole thing.
This mom is under arrest after police say they found her 7-year-old daughter barricaded in a closet weighing only 29 pounds. She was allegedly so malnourished that she now has brain damage. But this discovery has triggered new concern for police in a different case, and it's a case involving one of this woman's other daughters.
Ava has not been seen in over 6 years, so her height and weight are currently unknown.
This mom's daughter hasn't been seen since 2017 when she was 2 years old. Now police are hoping they can find her and that she's still alive. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. This is a shocking story, a disturbing story that we're following out of Austin, Texas on multiple fronts. But let's start with what police say they found inside an apartment complex. They say they were able to rescue a young girl who was allegedly barricaded in a closet at the hands of her mom. Here's a picture of that mom. Her name is Virginia Gonzales, and she is now under arrest. Now, KVUE-TV was able to look through the arrest affidavit and court documents. This is what those documents allegedly say. The 7-year-old child that police rescued from her home weighed just 29 pounds. Now, that's the weight that a child should be when they're roughly 4 years old, not 7. And according to police, this is where the apartment unit was. It's in a neighborhood in southeast Austin, Texas. Police received a 911 call reportedly from the child's grandma, potentially Virginia Gonzales' own mother, who found the child locked in the closet. And she was there potentially for weeks. Police say the young girl was starving. She was malnourished. Inside the apartment complex, that closet that the girl was found in, it was only 5 feet 2 inches tall. It had no light and it had no ventilation. So the girl only had roughly 10 inches of space in that closet. Virginia Gonzales' other children in the home told the grandmother that the reason the girl was locked in the closet was because she had issues controlling her bladder and, quote, was always getting into stuff. Remember, she is just 7 years old. Another disturbing detail that we've learned is that girl allegedly was only fed a corn dog and half a cup of water a day. Documents say that Virginia's daughter suffered brain damage because she was starved for so long. She's now at a local hospital recovering. This is Virginia's booking photo after police charged her with serious injury to a child on April 24th. This is the other booking photo that Austin police have put out to the media. This is from April 3rd. They say it's because of an out-of-county warrant. This is the same day that police say they found that little girl in the closet. Police say inside the home, she also had 6 other children. They were all siblings of this young girl, but police say those 6 other children, the ones that were not allegedly being held in that closet, all seemed to be healthy and fed. But let's get to the other layer that police are looking at in this case, because the discovery of this young girl in the closet, allegedly at the hands of her own mother, has raised concern for police because they say one of the woman's other children hasn't been seen for roughly 6 years. Police say they found 7 children in the home, including that young girl allegedly imprisoned inside the closet, but they say they realized that one child was missing. And police say she has been missing for a long time. I want you to look at this picture and look at it closely. Her name is Ava Marie Gonzales. She hasn't been seen since she was 2 years old. So we're talking roughly 6 years. Police released these images of the girl when she was young, but they also released this picture. That's an estimation of what she may look like today. She would be roughly 9 years old. This is what police said during a news conference.
Police discovered that there was an 8th child who was not found inside the home. The missing 9-year-old child was identified as Ava Marie Gonzales. Missing persons detectives determined that Ava was last seen in December 2017 when she was 2 years old and in the custody of her mother, Virginia Marie Gonzales. Virginia Gonzales was arrested on April 24th, 2025 for injury to a child, serious bodily injury, for the injuries sustained by her 7-year-old child. Austin Police Department's missing person detectives are seriously concerned about Ava's welfare, given the circumstances in which Ava's 7-year-old sibling was found.
I want to take a moment and
Looking forward to this a bit. I just want to see Here's SF Investigates had sat down with Law and Crime. We'll take a look at this, see what he had to say.
About this case is missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. It doesn't seem like police have a lot of leads, at least they're not saying it publicly. Where do you even begin in a case like this where it doesn't appear that this girl has been seen since 2017?
Yeah, so this makes it super difficult because, you know, the normal process would be when a child like this goes missing, you go into a search for the child based on information that is somewhat in real time. And so that's out the window here. So what we're going to have to rely on is, you know, social media, you know, pleas to family and friends, you know, analytical data. There's not going to be even physical evidence at this point is pretty much going to be useless because of the time that's passed. So this is not going to be an investigation, I think, where you see an actual search happening. This is going to be all investigative based.
And it's kind of a cliche to say someone fell through the cracks in cases like this, but for a 2-year-old to disappear, to not be seen, she was not in school, it seems, or any of the kids, according to police. But I mean, what typically are the avenues where a report can come in if you have a case where, which what it appears from what police have said, the mom did not report her missing back in 2017, the last time she was seen. What other avenues were missed here to be now more than 6 years later where police are like, oh my gosh, where is this girl?
Well, we don't know what the family dynamics are, so we don't know if she had a family relationship. But listen, she has 8 children, so there's been people in her life pretty consistently, whether that be the same father or different fathers. There's been people around, and somebody had to have noticed that this child was all of a sudden disappeared, including, you know, neighbors. I think it's likely they were living in an apartment complex. She may have been on government assistance. You know, we saw this in the Harmony Montgomery case.
Yeah, I was thinking that government assistance. She's probably just catching all kinds of freebies or whatever, and not even taking care of the kids and dumping them off on people and all over the place and partying, clubbing.
Were those benefits being used and by who? When did physicians stop seeing the child, if they ever even did see the child, you know, much after birth? There's, I think, you know, investigators now are going to be going back and starting at the beginning and literally trying to see where any paper trail of her, you know, with physicians, with people that live near her, with her siblings. You know, we don't know the exact ages. I think we just know that there's 7 siblings that go up to age 14. So she does have older siblings. The 14-year-old may be able to shed some light on that. That's a really, really, really delicate process, though, of extracting that information. That is not really for investigators to do. That's for trained clinical psychologists and whatnot to debrief them over a long period of time.
And the kids weren't in school either, which you know, raises questions of, I mean, especially for a 14-year-old to have never been enrolled in school, according to police. Like, you know, there's so many questions of like, how does that even happen? They have put an email out for people to send in tips. They've put a phone number for Crime Stoppers to send in tips. Just in your experience, how effective, and I know there are the stories of the tip came in and it led us to what was going on, but you imagine that there's going to be thousands of tips and emails that are going to go in. How do you sift through those? How do you follow up on those tips to see which ones are legit and which ones just are not going to lead you in the direction of this girl?
Well, my guess is simply because of the age of the child, and people are really going to want to help in this case. They're going to get bombarded with tips, and it's going to be tough to sift through. They're going to have to do it, though. But the thing is, so much time has passed now. You know, witness accounts are notoriously the worst form of evidence there is, right? I mean, people get things turned around, and you know, different people will see different things and remember things differently, and over time the story will change in your mind. And unless somebody really saw a direct event that was traumatic and memorable, you don't know how credible that's going to be. And if it is credible, why didn't it get reported? And so there's probably a small subset of people in her life that might know some information, but these are probably people that it's going to be hard to get that information from, would be my guess.
Yeah, and they've put out this AI-generated image of what Ava Marie Gonzales may look like today. She'd be roughly 9 years old. In your experience, because it's always kind of incredible what technology can do, and you try to project of what someone could look like. In your experience, how effective, how accurate are those types of images in these cases?
So that age progression with children is a pretty new thing that NCMEC has started doing. We've seen it in the Summer Wells case, I think maybe in the Oakley Carlson case, and a couple others, but we don't really know because unfortunately we haven't found those children yet, so we don't know how accurate those are. There's nothing really to gauge against if they were accurate or not. I mean, it's only been in the last year that they've really authorized this age progression, and we've started seeing these appear on billboards and stuff, which I think is a great thing. But we just unfortunately haven't found any of these children yet that it's been tested on, so we don't really know how accurate those renderings are.
Police have been pretty tight-lipped in some ways, and maybe they just don't know. At least in the news conference, they wouldn't talk about her criminal history. Not a surprise that CPS isn't talking about previous interactions with the family. That's typically confidential.
They just don't want to look bad. CPS don't want to look bad is what it is. Ugh.
As far as my end, I mean, trying to find her on social media, at this point in time that we're recording, I haven't been able to find a Facebook page or something like that. And then court records, Virginia Gonzales is a relatively common name. So what sticks out to you at this point, just when you look at what we know about this mom who's now in custody, which, by the way, her child was found at 29 pounds. The kid's 7 years old inside the house, allegedly. So, there's that whole aspect of this investigation as well. Yeah. But what stands out to you right now when we look at Virginia Gonzales?
I just think that with 8, or 7 at the time that were in this household, I still don't think that it was just Virginia. I think whether another male in her life, which, if you just do the timing that she's had 8 children and she's 33 years old, there's pretty consistently been a male in her life. I don't think that she's the only one that was an adult in that household. So I think there's somebody else that knows. And I think maybe the reason that police are being tight-lipped is because it doesn't look good that, you have 8 kids up to 14 that have never been to school or supposedly being homeschooled, but I very highly doubt that's happened since we find this child, 7-year-old, locked in a closet. Thank God the grandmother called when she found out. But I also think that there's probably a high probability that they've had some sort of contact with CPS in the past. And are we going to see this again, like we've seen with Harmony and Montgomery and other cases where it's, I'm not blaming it on CPS, but there's holes in that system, but they're also shielded by this privacy, so they're not bound to provide any records or any information or anything. But I would guess that they've probably had contact with that system before. It'd be interesting to see if they've.
All right. Let me just fast forward a little bit. Anything else?
When you're dealing with pediatric physicians and people young in life, you have to show that paper trail, birth records and immunization and whatnot. So I'm sure that they're working that angle as well. But I think mostly they're leaning on her, getting her to break, and then the people that are in her life. And then, I think the most important person probably is going to be the older siblings. It's a tricky one, but because that's going to take.
All right. So we're going to move to the next topic. We're going to keep an eye on this story. Hopefully Ava's found, but it does make me think of all the other stories where kids have been missing for years. Doesn't sound good. I mean, unless she really sold Ava and she's alive somewhere. It's going to be really hard to track down and find out where this kid's at after all these years. And the alleged baby that was sold to a gay couple, which I could almost see that happening. Maybe cheaper, no paperwork, black market, under the table, baby sales probably, who knows, right? That's wild, bro. Wild, wild, wild. This lady could slip under like that with all these kids, babies, kids, partying, clubbing, living the life of multiple dads, all this shit. Who knows? Jeez. All right, so we're going to do another story, just to update on this situation with this school shooter that we covered. I want to transfer you guys. The father has been charged. Natalie Rupno. They charged the dad. Oh, hell nah. So I'm going to transfer you guys right now. Twitch, I'll restart the stream, okay? Give me 1 or 2 minutes.